Let's take a look at the lesson for the week of June 23rd, integer operations. Integer operations are something you spend a lot of time on in pre-algebra, and it's something that really needs to be second nature in Algebra 1. You shouldn't have to take any time to think what -4 plus -3 equals, or what -4 plus +3 equals. Those should just be automatic for you. If they aren't automatic for you, this summer is a good time to review them and to practice them to be prepared for Algebra 1. We will not review integer operations at all after school starts. So take a look at the integer operations review and the rules first if you need to review it, and then let's go through the video notes together. Okay, now that you've taken some time to review your integer operations rules, let's take a look at the video notes. Most of this is going to be very elementary for you, and hopefully it is, and it'll be very simple, so it should only take us a few minutes to get through these notes. All right, number 1, we're going back to the first grade. 5 plus 6 we know equals 11. Number 2 takes us to 6th or 7th grade because now we've added negatives to that, even though previously we didn't realize that there were negative numbers when we were in elementary school. So now we just add the two numbers together. 5 plus 6 is 11, but it's negative because we have a negative. Both of the numbers are negative. Number 3, these are where they come into being a little bit more difficult because we're adding a positive plus a negative. The best way to do it if you're going to actually show work, and you shouldn't have to show work at this point, is remember that you subtract the two numbers. 6 minus 5 equals 1, and you had more negatives, and so your answer is negative. You really shouldn't have to do that at this point. You should be able to look at the two numbers and say, okay, I've got a positive 5 and I've got negative 6. That's going to leave me with negative 1 left over. Number 4, the same thing, only we have a negative 5 and a positive 6, so we should know that that equals 1 without having to do the subtraction work. Number 5, negative 12 plus 25. If I've got negative 12 and I have positive 25, I should know that I have 13 left over. If you have to show the work, it's 25 minus 12 equals 13. I have more positives, so my answer is positive. Number 6, I've got 24 plus negative 13. Again, I should be able to look at that and say positive 24, negative 13, positive 11. If you still aren't good at it, subtract the 2. We get 11. We had more positives, so our answer is positive. Number 7 is a special case. Anytime we add a negative and a positive of the same number, or a number and its opposite, we know that we get 0. Number 8, 10 plus negative 22, we should be able to tell is negative 12 without doing the work. If you need to, 22 minus 10 equals 12. We have more negatives, so our answer is negative. Subtraction is sometimes one that's more difficult for students, but at this point in your math careers, you should be able to do it without thinking too much. If I have 2 and I subtract 3 from it, I should automatically know that I'm going to have a negative number. So if I take 2 minus 3, I should know that I'm going to get negative 1. If I don't know that yet, I'm going to use the rule I learned in pre-algebra: same, opposite, opposite. So I kept this number the same, changed subtraction to addition, and I changed this number to its opposite, which is negative 3. And then I use my addition rules, which tells me that I get negative 1. This time, however, I'm starting with negative 2, and when I subtract 3 from negative 2, I should know that my number gets smaller, and so I'm going to be negative 5. Again, same, opposite, opposite. When I add those two together, I get negative 5. You are not required to show the work that I'm showing here. If you can do these in your head, which I hope that you can at this point, then you can go ahead and do it without showing the work. Number 11, 2 minus negative 3. Anytime I have 2, a minus, and a negative together, I know it becomes a plus. So my answer is 5. Same, opposite, opposite. Same thing here. Negative 2 minus negative 3. I know that it becomes a plus, so I end up with negative 2 plus 3. And I know that I get a positive 1. The multiplication and division rules are simple. Just don't get them confused with the addition rules. Remember that if you multiply same sign, you get a positive answer. If you multiply different sign, you get a negative answer. So in 13 and 15, I'm multiplying same sign, both positive, so I get a positive answer. 15, both negative, I get a positive answer. 14 and 16, I'm multiplying different sign. One's negative, one's positive, so I know I'm going to get a negative answer. So each time, paying attention to my rules, I'll know whether it's negative or positive. The division rules are exactly the same, so if I'm dividing same sign as in 17 and 20, I get a positive answer. And if I'm multiplying different signs like 18 and 19, I'm going to get a negative answer. Hopefully at this point you're able to do your integer operations without too much thinking. So go ahead and take some time to do your lesson homework number 3, and remember that that is the sheet that's going to be due in August.